On a beautiful Sunday afternoon, I was driving to a cricket function. I was captain coach of a cricket club and we'd won the premiership, and I was going out to help celebrate what we'd achieved for the year. And on the way into Axdale in country Victoria, I was in the 70 kilometre zone slowing towards 60, and a four-wheel drive coming out of the 60 kilometre zone lost control, rolled up the highway, bounced up in the air and landed upside down on the roof and bonnet of my stationary car. Unfortunately and tragically, Emma, who was aged 18, was killed in that car accident. She was driving the four-wheel drive and I was very seriously injured. I can tell you that from that day onwards I learned that a car crash is not just a car crash. That car crash changed my life and my family's lives and the lives of so many of our friends forever. I was married to Ange and still am married to Ange. We had 4 daughters, Michelle, Katrina, Jasmine and Carmen. No one knows what life is going to dish up to anyone, and unfortunately life will do to you what it is going to do. I lost my investment property that I'd purchased. I also lost our house 3 years after the car crash, which was a huge loss to us. And it really hurt me deeply because that was the home that our children were growing up in. For every person who's been killed in a car crash, 18 people are seriously injured. You might think it'll never happen to you, and yet on the 18th of November 1995, just 2.5 years after I had my car crash, Carmen, our baby girl, was killed in a car crash. You might wonder why I do this. I stand up here as a broken dad, as a parent, as a father and a grandfather, as someone who had a whole family, and as someone who knows how the family equilibrium can be destroyed in no time, in a flash. I don't want any of you for one split second to think that this type of thing can't happen to you, because this is how life transpires. It was a beautiful Saturday morning. Michelle walked into the kitchen and here was Carmen asleep at the kitchen table with her head in her arms. Carmen's very best friend, Carmen Trevine, had come out and stayed the night like she had done hundreds of times before. She said, I have to take Carmen into McDonald's where she works part-time of a Saturday and Sunday. The 2 girls walked out to the car. Carmen Trevine didn't have her licence yet. That's why Carmen had to drive her. Michelle walked out with them. Michelle was 23. When they got to the car, Michelle said, Carmen, you're tired. Wind the window down, turn the wireless up, you'll be right, mate, I'll catch you later. And she gave her a big thumbs up. Michelle had her shower and got herself ready. As she was getting into her car, at 8:30 in the morning, she thought to herself, I would have expected Carmen home by now. That's when it hit her. She said it hit her in the chest, and just over halfway into Bendigo, this is what Michelle found. Michelle pulled over and she went running towards Carmen's car. She was within 3 metres of the car when the young policeman grabbed her. And he said, where do you think you're going, young lady? Michelle said, that's my sister in that car and I'm taking her home. He said, I'm really sorry, but your sister is dead. Michelle said, but you don't understand. It's my fault that Carmen is dead. I know that there are people in this room, in fact probably every single one of you, who have driven your car while you're tired. I know you have. I used to do it all the time. I can honestly say to you now that I never, ever, ever drive my car while I'm tired. I can't, because this is what Carmen did to us. You see, Carmen ended up being the lucky one in our family that day. Carmen was killed instantly, and we've been dying slowly ever since. Don't for one split second think that these type of things can't happen to you and your family. We have to trust that it won't, but they can happen. Our family is not unique. In fact, there are families that are a lot worse off than us. In 2013, I spoke at 80 schools and to about 20,000 students. I've been speaking at schools for 16 years and spoken to in excess of 160,000 kids. What I've been doing at the schools has been proactive, and getting the message of Carmen's message into the heads of these kids, because do you know what? When a child or a young kid dies in a car crash, they destroy a family and all their friends. And you know what? You never ever get over it, I can assure you of that.